Namaskar bachcho. Today we will be studying the chapter acids and bases. This chapter is in continuation with your previous video, in which we had already discussed acids found in our home: orange, lemon, sweet lime, mango, tamarind, curd, and vinegar. These are the common sources of acids found in our homes, and these are common sources of bases which are found in our homes: coffee, soap, cooking soda, baking soda, Digene tablets or syrup which you might have been given by the doctors in case you felt some sort of acidity. Then coming to this very important part, children, your school laboratory having acids and bases. Today I shall be only demonstrating you only a few of the acids and bases which are commonly found in your labs along with the indicators. Hydrochloric acid is one of them, very common. Sulfuric acid is again very common acid found in laboratories. Nitric acid is again very important and very common acid found in laboratories. It is mainly used for the cleaning of laboratory apparatus. Then acetic acid, you may correlate acetic acid with your vinegar because the two are equally the same thing. They are just the same thing chemically. Fine. And the common bases which are found in your labs are sodium hydroxide, ammonium hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide, lime water or calcium hydroxide. If you notice carefully, all these bases have hydroxide in their names. So what does it mean? It simply means hydroxides will have oxygen and hydrogen along with a metal with them. Sodium and OH. Ammonium hydroxide, this is non-metallic cationic part, again having oxygen and hydrogen in them. Magnesium hydroxide having OH minus ions, lime water. So all the bases have common OH minus ions in them, whereas the acids all have H plus ion in them. Fine. So this is a very common thing between the acids and between the bases. So how do we test them in the laboratory? Children, we are blessed with so many indicators in the lab. You see, this is the indicator paper. It comes in the form of a strip. Fine. यहाँ से हम क्या करते हैं बेटा? We take out this one and we start pulling a strip of the length whichever is required. Then we have these pH paper strips. You may see it. This front page have pH from 1 to 7. This is acidic range, children. It will range from deep red to light yellow. And then there is basic range which will start from slight green to dark purple. Then we have your well-known litmus solution, blue litmus, this is red litmus solution, this is blue litmus solution, and we have universal indicator solution also. Children, these three things are common. They are one and the same kind of things. What is same in them? Use of this single substance, either in the form of strips or in the form of solution, will tell you whether the given sample is an acid or a base. Whereas making use of litmus, blue litmus or red litmus, will tell you only the presence of one substance, either acid or either base. So, and one more thing, here I have your phenolphthalein solution. Children, you must have seen Akshay Kumar's very famous film, that your Khatta Meetha. What he did in that movie, he trapped the heroine with the help of this phenolphthalein powder. Watch that part of the movie. You will be pleased to see, you will feel happy that yes, that is a thing which I had seen in my laboratory. What is the difference only? In the movie, phenolphthalein powder was used, and in the laboratory we have this solution for you. It is made out of that powder only. So children, now which litmus to be used for which part? A, B, C, we go alphabetical order. A for acids, so it will be tested by blue. A, B. Acids for blue litmus and bases for again the leftover red litmus. So I have these acids and bases in my lab and we shall be testing them out. First of all, I I will make use of your red litmus and I will see which one of these are acids and which one of these are bases. This one I have red litmus in my test tube, children, and I will open this up and I will make use of, you children, you can make use of this dropper at home, and in the laboratory we make use of some glass pipes. And the red litmus, it has turned blue. Oh my god, this one is base. Oh, good. And if I want to test the next solution, what will I do? I will discard the previous one. I will wash the test tube. I will wash this rod. Both of the things need to be washed very nicely so that any trace of previous solution are not there. Fine. Then again I will put a drop of red litmus here and I will test yet another solution. Let me do it. Yes, here it goes. And this one turned blue, red litmus turned blue, so this bottle again must be having some base. Now I shall read the label of this bottle. This is sodium hydroxide, children, and what this was? This is lime water, your calcium hydroxide. I shall be testing other solutions also, and before testing a new solution, in every case I need to wash my apparatus very nicely. Fine. And now again taking the red litmus and I will test this solution. Fine. Here it goes. No change in the color of red litmus, so this is not a base, right children? This is not a base. Let us move ahead. And if it is not base, then what it could be? Could be anything, but definitely not a base. So red litmus only tells me the presence of a base. It does not tell me the presence of other substances. That is the limitation for my litmus solution. Now I shall read the label. This is acetic acid, children. Definitely acetic acid is an acid, so it does not give color to the red litmus. Now again taking a few drops of red litmus and here it is. The color of red litmus is not changed, so this is again not a base. So what it could be? Anything. It could be an acid, it could be a neutral substance, it could be anything, but definitely it is not a base, because litmus only tells us the presence of one substance. And what it was, children? Let me read the label. This is hydrochloric acid. Now I shall be testing the next solution, and this one is, oh god, this one is again not changing the color. What it is? This is sulfuric acid, and we know that acids do not change the color of red litmus. For testing the presence of acids, we need to use which litmus? Blue litmus. Will you be able to remember, children? Yes, all good children and all not so good children. And all my children will be able to remember that red litmus only gives me the test for the presence of bases. Now this one is left. I should test this one also. No change in red color, so again this solution is not a base, right children? So if it is not a base, then what it could be? It could be anything, but definitely not a base. One more solution here I have. This one I should test. You see, I do not know what it is, right? It may be an acid, it may be a base. I should test it. Oh god, this one is base. Mr. Kishore, what it is? It was a base something. I could test it with the help of red litmus. what it was? Okay. So it was ammonium hydroxide. Right, children, it is ammonium hydroxide and I could identify it with the use of red litmus. Now we shall be making use of blue litmus. Right, children, and we shall be testing the same set of compound, same set of. So I should cap this red litmus and put it back. Now this is blue litmus and I should, this one is also blue litmus. Yes, no, this one is not blue, this is blue litmus. So I should use this blue litmus. Here it goes. A few drops of blue litmus and then again going systematically from bottle number 1 to bottle number 2. No change in the color of blue litmus, so definitely this is not an acid, because had it been an acid it would have changed the color of blue litmus to red. So we shall be testing another solution. Again a few drops of blue litmus and a few drops of the liquid to be tested. No, it's not an acid because color of blue litmus is not changed. Had it been an acid, the blue litmus must have changed to the red color. Fine. So again testing all these solutions with the help of blue litmus, and now here I am taking the third solution and it changed the color to the red. I should add a little more so that I can confirm it myself. Yes, blue litmus changed its color to red, so it is an acid, because we know that acids turn blue litmus red. And now testing yet another solution the same way. Okay, it is also an acid. What is the name? I shall confirm it. This is hydrochloric acid. Good children. So now you got it that blue litmus changes red in presence of an acid. And every time you need to wash your dropper and the test tube in which you are testing. Fine. And here I am taking it. Okay, this is again an acid and this is sulfuric acid this time. One more solution I am left with. One more solution we are left with, children. And here it goes. A few drops of blue litmus. Small amount of substance to be tested, and again it turned blue. So, blue litmus changed red, so it is an acid. Right, children? So, shall we test this particular ammonium hydroxide also, which Mr. Kishore put for us surprise test? We shall test it. Oh God! Blue litmus is not changing its color, it is blue. So it's not an acid, and we have tested it again. So thank you for today, children. We shall be discussing universal indicators in our next class. Welcome, children. Well, today I am sitting in the lab, but I am not going to give you any lesson of the chemistry. I have come up with a very brilliant idea. You see, some 5-year-old child in my neighborhood, he said, "Auntie, what do you do?" I said, "Beta, I am a chemist." "You are a chemist? So, what do the chemists do?" I said, "Beta, chemists play with the chemicals." "So, Auntie, do you play with the chemicals?" I said, "Yes, Beta, I play with the chemicals." He said, "It was raining during evening time, and after the rain had stopped, it was drizzling a little. So the child was looking at the rainbow formed and he said, "Auntie, can you make a chemical rainbow for me?" I said, "Making a chemical rainbow?" He said, "If you cannot make me a chemical rainbow, what sort of chemist you are?" I said, "Okay child, I will try, and today we will be trying to make a chemical rainbow. Here this is distilled water and I shall keep them at bay. Here. And I will put a few drops of, this is universal indicator solution, children. What sort of color you are seeing here? See, this itself is forming a sort of chemical rainbow. And how will I play with this chemical rainbow? This is green in color and I will add some hydrochloric acid to it and we'll see whether I am able to make a chemical rainbow. Oh God, God, God. Yes, green color now converted to red, and now I shall be making use of, what is it? Can I see it? Can I read it right? Yes, this is sodium hydroxide and we'll try to make a chemical rainbow. Keep on adding, keep on adding, keep on adding. The color is changing to a rainbow. Children, I am able to make a chemical rainbow. Blue color, green color, red color and some more. Now I shall be again diluting this color. Adding, adding, adding and adding. I got orangish red. And again I am making your chemical rainbow. See here, yellow, orange. All the colors of rainbow I got in my beaker. So this is the chemical rainbow. So here children, what I am a chemist, and what's my occupation? What's my job? My job is to play with the chemicals. So children, you can also make this chemical rainbow at your home. What all you need is universal indicator. Vinegar you must be having at your home. You can make use of that. And to change the color, you can make use of your cooking soda, children. Sometime else I will be showing you that too. Till then, bye children.